G'day everyone, it's Dr. Borta and welcome to my gaming room tour. I bought this house with my partner, Miss Spagbolt, just over a year ago, and I've been slowly working on this gaming room and adding to it as time goes by, as it's always been a dream of mine to have a gaming room I could call my own. Before we crack on, keep in mind this is still a work in progress, but I have been asked by a few people in the community for a tour, so here it is. I'll start with directly behind me and work my way around the room to finish up with my gaming setup. So cracking on with the tour, directly to my left and my right, I have complete blackout curtains covering up the doors to my hallway and the windows of the room, which also double up as soundproofing to try and keep my rage moments concealed within this room. Moving along directly behind me, I have a coat rack which was given to us by friends but has come in super handy to hold my streaming and video props such as my chest rig, face mask, handmade head and shoulders or ghillie suit, including my old weapon wrap. I also have my cams and a shamag on here. Pushing over to the left here, I have an El Cheapo double recliner couch we scored for 50 bucks from a second-hand store, and we just have a basic cushion and blanket here from Kmart and a Pokeball cushion we got from EB Games. Moving up to the wall, I know, as you can see this hasn't been finished yet. I started fitting these 3D diamond art panels to make this a feature wall, but I vastly misjudged the amount I would need for the price, and these little puppies aren't cheap, so I was put off a little bit. As for this giant Avengers picture you are seeing, this is actually a diamond dot photo that was gifted to us that Nikki spent almost a month doing, but as you can see it was well worth the finished product. I also have 5 meter length of LFX light strips running along the base of this wall to help light it up, and I have fitted 3 LFX downlights into the roof that are full RGB and can be controlled individually or all together either through the app on my phone or from my Stream Deck. There's loads of customization on this app, and it also comes with a pre-made themes that are updated regularly, which I think is pretty neat. Now heading along here, I have one of my many idols and a favorite quote of mine that I've made into a poster, the great Arnold Schwarzenegger. Then heading down from here, I have a display cabinet home to some of my favorite memorabilia, which starts off with my anime shelf with Dragon Ball Z figurines, One Piece, Bart Simpson, and of course I have a Bort keychain just up here in reference to my favorite episode of The Simpsons. Then moving down to the next shelf, I have a dedicated Call of Duty section with all the games from arguably the golden era of Call of Duty, as well as some bits and pieces from my time in the military. Then heading down another shelf, I have my original Xbox that I've had since 2002, which is in still perfect working condition. I also have my original Xbox 360 with a custom faceplate and a personalized 360 controller I had made back then that Nikki turned into artwork for me to bring it a new life. Moving along to the bottom level here, I have all of my original Xbox and 360 games, as I could never part with them due to all the fun times and memories, like playing Halo for the first time, or Fable, flying through Springfield in Hit and Run, or making my way across Tamriel in Oblivion. While we're on the subject, what's your favorite game from your childhood that brings back memories and nostalgia for you?
Here lived a boy and his family, a boy dreaming of greatness, of one day being a hero.
This is the 27th of last seed, the year of Akatosh 433. These are the closing days of the third era and the final hours of my life.
Then heading over to the left, we have a DVD cabinet here with some more memorabilia, as well as some custom drawings that Nikki drew and painted herself. I've got a basic bitch PlayStation light that no gaming room is complete without. I also have one of these flappy arm dancing guy things that generally just sits here but can be turned on if you need to pick me up. Moving down, we just have an assortment of games, movies and TV series, and a second generation Guitar Hero guitar that belongs to Nikki. Alright, now we are starting to move into the good stuff. So this is Miss Spagbolt's gaming setup. It's super basic, a PS5 running on a 65-inch Hisense TV, so nothing special here. She does, however, have a custom controller I had made for her from the local company called Buds Controllers. I'll leave a link in the description for them below. Not sponsored, I just think he does great work. Now moving back along, Nikki has made this space her own with all her pop vinyls, her friends' Lego sets, and her other bits and bobs around the place. I fitted this floating shelf that I brought down at Bunnings to help give all her pops a home and make her corner look a little bit more lively. Both Nikki and I have our own setup on a sit-stand desk we got from a local company called Zen Space Desk. And they are the perfect desk with loads of customizability, a sleek modern aesthetic look and options for their own monitor arms, cable management. And as for the height adjustment, it ranges from 60 centimeters at its lowest all the way up to 125 centimeters high. Now, heading over to my setup. I'll start with arguably the most important part of the whole setup, the UPS, or uninterruptible power supply. Basically, I plug all my gear into this little puppy, and if my house loses power, it will switch to internal batteries and power my whole setup for roughly 15 minutes or so, giving me enough time to shut down everything properly. Or in the worst case scenario, my house is struck by lightning or there's a massive power surge, the UPS will take the hit and protect my gaming rig and equipment. So I highly recommend one of these. Alright, now for the fun stuff. I have my PS5 here with a PS5 Edge controller with the limited edition Modern Warfare 2 stick extenders from Control Freaks. I have the PS5 running on the LG 55-inch C1 OLED TV, which is hands down the best TV I have ever owned or even seen really. Obviously there is a C2 out now and a C3 on the way, but the C1 still stands strong with a 4K 120Hz 1 millisecond response time and 2.1 HDMI connectivity. This TV is perfect for all console gamers, whether it be story driven games, FPS, or you just want to relax and watch a movie. This TV is stunning.
To outsiders, trust me.
We'll come back to my headset and move into my desk setup. From the right, I have my coaster for them late night coffees. Then I have my trusty Switchblade stash comb to ensure we look good in the heat of battle. I use the Corsair Scimitar mouse from my time playing MMO RPGs such as WoW and Final Fantasy XIV. The keyboard is a Razer Black Widow. Now moving to one of my favorite pieces of tech. This is my SteelSeries Arctic Nova Pros. This headset has it all. But some of the main features including high-res audio support, they are noise cancelling, have a dockable spare battery so you never have to worry about it going flat, and you're able to control all the equalizer settings from the dock without needing any software, and they work great with both the PC and PS5. Next, I have my PS5 SCUF FPS Reflex controller, which I use for all my FPS games. Even though the SCUF controllers have their issues, this is my main controller and is just perfect weight and feels really nice, and all the buttons and triggers just feel good to me. Right next to that, I have my Stream Deck XL, which I have not completely set up as you can see, but it is incredibly useful for my live streams and just basic tasks on my PC, such as opening pages I often use. I then have my Elgato Wave 3 mic that I have set up on an Elgato low profile mic arm, which is a fully adjustable mic arm, but due to its low profile, it's perfect for my setup. And just behind that, I have all my controllers to control the TV, monitor, aircon, and my Streamlify 14-inch ring light, which is home to the Logitech C920 webcam, which is a decent webcam that can run at 1080p 30 frames per second or 720p at 60 frames per second. I also have a WD 12TB hard drive to store all my streams and clips hiding in the back here. As for my chair, I'm just running a basic office chair I took from work because, you know, cheap, and I have some mats down to protect the carpet. Hiding down here, I have my Elgato foot pedal that I use for muting game audio, muting chat, and this one over here is for my aimbot. I also have my helmet down here that you guys have seen from past videos. And my second favorite knife, the Rambo 3 replica knife that I use for basic house chores like opening boxes and hunting dinner. Now just behind me, I also have my roof mounted green screen that is just under 2 meters square, which I can pull down when needed, but still remains out of the way when not in use. Okay, now moving back to the desk. As for my 3 monitors, I'm running an ASUS Pro Art PA329CV display for all my content creating needs. This is a 4K UHD HDR 100% sRGB monitor that makes editing super rewarding, and the center screen is an LG 27-inch 2K Ultra Gear OLED gaming monitor running at 240Hz with a 0.03 millisecond response time. This is another incredible monitor and runs FPS games like a dream with 2.1 HDMI compatibility, NVIDIA G-Sync, and an incredible color spectrum. I've been super happy with this monitor. As you can tell, I like my OLEDs. And lastly, the third monitor is just an LG 34-inch ultra-wide IPS monitor. And it was an incredible monitor back when it was released in 2014, but now it's mostly used for my chat or just extra room. This is the general setup I have when streaming. So as you can see, I have most programs on the ASUS, the game on the center LG, and my chat and music on the far left. All right, now heading into the brains of the operation, I just recently had this PC custom built by a local company called E-ATX. Fun fact, I used to work there. This absolute beast of a machine set me back a whopping 7 grand, and that was with them looking after me. But as you will see from the specs, it was well worth it, especially since this thing is running all of my gaming needs at high FPS and high quality, running my stream and all the other bits and pieces for that, and anything I need editing wise. I'll leave a full list of all the components below, but I have the Lian Dynamic Evo case in a modern black. I'm running the MSI MPG Z790 Edge Wi-Fi motherboard, an MSI GeForce 4080 Supreme 16GB graphics card, an Intel Core i9-13900KF CPU with a Corsair iCUE H150i Elite liquid cooler, as well as 3 Lian-Li SL version 2-3B 120mm case fans to keep this rig cool. I have 64GB of DDR5 Corsair Vengeance RAM, a Gigabyte GP UD100GM PG5 fully modular power supply, 3GB of SSD, and an 8GB hard drive, as well as an Elgato 4K 60 Pro to capture my PS5 gameplay. All of the lights are controlled through the iCUE and L-Connect software with full customizability, and all hardware came with a 3-year warranty, so I highly recommend the guys over at E-ATX. I'll leave a link for them as well down below. And that's about it. G'day, it's Dr. Borta here. So fun fact, this gaming room has cost me over $30,000 all up. A large majority of that has been to upgrade the internet, however, but it has not been cheap. But I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make this YouTube dream of mine come to reality. So it's all for a good cause. Now normally I'd recommend a video for you guys to watch, however this is the first video like this I've ever made. So how about this? If you like Call of Duty, go check out my channel, and if you like what you see, hit that sub button. Well, sweetos, cheers for watching. I appreciate you. Have a good one, and I'll see you next one. Peace.